Welcome back to Around the Premier League, and we have some juicy topics to discuss here. As always, joined by our good friend, the True Geordie. Make sure to check out his channel. He has an absolute belter of a video from this weekend where he lets rip about the Toon Derby, which actually was a pretty good game, to be honest, and had some goals in it. So make sure to check out that video. You can see he's still suffering a little bit. I think he's you've come off the edge, right, Geordie? Someone talked you off.
Well, I think the hangover took us off, mate, to be honest. I had to nurse some wounds, mate, because I don't feel too good right now, if I'm honest with you.
All right, well, let's get on to some good topics here. So, rumours circulating, as always, as they do, but this one might have a little bit more substance than many believe, is that with Chelsea suffering another loss this weekend, Jose Mourinho sent to the stands. We'll touch on that in greater detail in another clip. But it's allowed for rumours to emerge about different managers coming into the Premier League. Chelsea might have an open vacancy in there, so we're expecting some of the biggest names in world football to potentially come in. Now, this poses a question. Which managers would we, or the general public, like to see come into the Premier League who haven't coached in the Premier League already? Now, there's very few managers out there that are considered world-class that haven't coached in the Premier League yet. We've seen some of the best managers from around the world come in. Louis van Gaal at the moment has coached all over the world and in the Premier League. Jose Mourinho, of course, one of them. Carlo Ancelotti's coached in there. But there's just I would say a handful of coaches that haven't yet coached in the Premier League. So I'm going to throw to the Geordie. Geordie, the rumours are tied to Pep Guardiola. Now, they're saying that he could be a perfect replacement for Jose Mourinho, seeing as if Chelsea's season is not turned around. What do you make of these rumours, and do you think Pep Guardiola would be a great manager to come in for Chelsea?
Well, I think Pep Guardiola is a very good manager, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, this one, because Bayern Munich are looking stronger than ever right now. I know they've just lost to Arsenal, but they've been on an amazing run before that, and they'll recover from that, no problem. They are looking a really good shot for the Champions League, and he's failed with them in the Champions League so far. So I really don't see why you wouldn't want to see the rest of the season now, given that they're in really good shape, and give it one more go for the Champions League this season before he goes to try and a Premier League club. And whether that would be Chelsea or not, that's another story altogether.
Well, the reason, what I think is going on with these rumours, and I don't actually condemn this, is I think people are just trying to get under Jose Mourinho's skin. And I'm kind of happy with that, because when Chelsea are winning, Jose Mourinho is the first in the press room and the last one to leave. Oh, we're doing fantastic. I mean, we've got the best players in the world. We've got Diego Costa. And then when they're losing, he gets sent to the stands and he doesn't even talk to the media. He does the whole Marshawn Lynch and say, I'm just sitting here. I don't want to answer your questions. And now I think the papers are trying to assist in heaping on the criticism to Jose Mourinho because, one, it's going to sell newspapers, undoubtedly so. It's not the most reliable sources in the world that have teased Guardiola as an ex-Chelsea manager. But I do agree from a managing standpoint, this doesn't make sense. They're not the style of team that I think Guardiola would fit well with. I think, if anything, which leads to my next suggestion of managers that are great that haven't yet to manage in the Premier League, is Diego Simeone. Now, similar to what you just mentioned with Guardiola, Geordie, is that Diego Simeone has no excuse to leave either. His Atletico Madrid team have been rejuvenated under his reign. They've got to the Champions League final. They've won the La Liga title. This season, they're looking great in the Champions League. They're 2 points off adrift at the top of the table. So there's no reason for him to leave, but do you think he would be a better fit into that style rather than Guardiola?
Yeah, stylistically speaking, Chelsea are notoriously a defensive team who can grab goals, but, they're solid defensively. Simeone is Mourinho, but he out-Mourinho'd Mourinho when they last met, when it was Chelsea versus Atletico in the Champions League. So he would be a perfect fit and I really hope that happens actually one day, because Mourinho, I know what he's doing. He's losing his mind. And we're all talking about how bad Mourinho is, what an idiot Mourinho is, instead of what a complete a travesty of a team they've got right now. I mean, Nemanja Matic is getting sent off. He looks a shadow of his former self, and all the defence has gone to ratchet. So that's the real talking point. So his tactics working, but it doesn't matter if it's working or not. They're not getting results. So that's the bottom line right now. And if he continues to not get results, then Simeone would be perfect for Chelsea.
So to touch on Mourinho, I guess, we've already opened the wound, so I want to just dive in there and open it a little bit further, is that, I mean, I'm be honest, I probably still get a little bit of, I would say, some negative thoughts towards Jose Mourinho after his Porto team robbed Celtic of their UEFA League chances back in, I think it's 2001 when they won that the UEFA League. But I appreciate him as a manager tactically. I think he's one of the best in the world. But what I think was always going to come back to bite him, Geordie, and you can agree or disagree, is that he consistently will deflect away from his players. So when things start to go wrong, he'll deflect away from them when things are going well, like from a discipline standpoint. But when things are going wrong, is that not of his own making then, that everyone's turning to him now and not looking at the shambles of a team that he has? Because he adamantly defends these players. So naturally, the media are just going to get on board with him and go, okay, you want to deflect away from your players. Now your team is a shambles. Let's just put the criticism on you.
Yeah, he's actually destroying himself in a way, because his reputation as a great coach and a great manager is really under threat, because he's always had success. This is the first time we've ever seen Jose Mourinho really struggling, and I mean badly struggling. When they played West Ham, it would have been more of a surprise to me if Chelsea won than West Ham won.
Yeah.
That's how bad they are right now. No disrespect to West Ham, they're doing great, but obviously historically you expect Chelsea to win that game. So, you know, his tactics working, but it's backfiring on him now, because his reputation as a manager is taking an absolute hammering.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess to get back to the main substance of our clip, for me, I was looking into a lot of the managers, some of the best in the world. And there's some managers out there that I think historically have been considered the best or world class. Like you look at the national stage and you look at Philip Scolari, Big Phil. I mean, I don't think he would want to manage in the Premier League. It would be interesting to see how he would take charge of a team. I know he basically had a fall from grace with his recent World Cup travesty with Brazil. But someone like him, and then of course you need to throw in there Luis Enrique, who's just at the start of his managing career at Barcelona. Again, why would he want to leave to come to the Premier League when he's in and amongst one of the best Barcelona teams I think we've ever seen? But I guess just from a neutral standpoint, Geordie, and me and you being Premier League fans, we like to see these managers come. We'd like to see some of the biggest managers in the world come into the stage. But is there any in there that you think would thrive in the Premier League?
I'd like to see Guardiola, because I'd like to see that tiki-taka style, the high pressure. You know, how would it work against the Stokes? You know, how would it, most likely he would do well in the Premier League, but how well would he do? Because without Messi, we've seen even at Bayern are, you know, the one-horse race in the Bundesliga. In the Premier League, where it really is wide open every season now. You know, 3 different teams in the last 3 years have won the Premier League. How would he cope in such a competitive league in terms of winning the league? I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I would love to. I think that's definitely my answer as well. Him or Simeone are two of the biggest I would love to see in the stage. And I'm going to defend the Premier League because undoubtedly the comment section, and we do appreciate your comments, and most people will say, why are you focused on the Premier League at this? Why would they want to come to a league like this? And it's because it's a different challenge. Some of the best and most decorated managers and players in the world see it as an opportunity to come to the Premier League. Cristiano Ronaldo still states that it's the most competitive, fast-paced league he's ever played in. Now he plays in La Liga. He enjoys space that he gets on the ball. He enjoys the pace of play. But he said nothing compared to some of the atmospheres that he's played in the Premier League. And that completely redefines how football is played. And you can say that Guardiola is the best manager at Bayern Munich. You can say he was fantastic at Barcelona, but you're not really tested until you have to go to a rainy day. It's
a totally different ball game, isn't it, mate? Really, when you think he had the best team possibly we've ever seen. Now, when you've got the best team we've ever seen assembled, you're not being tested as a manager, is it? You're on Football Manager. You don't really take over as Barcelona, do you? You take over as the team that's down below, and you create them into a Barca, because that's the real challenge. So I want to see him do it. You know, and even if he did come to the Premier League, he still wouldn't have to do that by any means. He'd get a Man United or an Arsenal, but still, I think it's a very competitive league, and it would really test him.
Yeah, when Guardiola took over that Barcelona team, he was a football manager. He was one of those guys that went in and then went in and signed in as another team as well and signed all the best players. You know,
so it was like playing Ultimate Team on FIFA for him, basically.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, we want to know what the comments think from both channels. Make sure to check out the True Geordie's YouTube and gaming channel and hit us up with all your comments on Twitter at Francis_Maxwell and at True Geordie in UFC, right? That's
yes, mate.
Perfect. I've got it known by heart. So hit us on those platforms. Let us know. Who do you think is some of the best managers not to have managed in the Premier League yet? Would you like to see Guardiola? Would you like to see Simeone? Do you think Jose Mourinho's job is in jeopardy? Let us all know in the comments, and don't forget to come back again soon.